I think we left Jared behind, guys.
Who?
He's not here. He's not here right now. We can have a show of anything we want.
What?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Jared is sick and he's lost his voice. Anyone care to guess how he lost his voice? Wrong answers only.
Hope he finds
Okay,
it.
that's
A sea witch stole it.
A sea
just
witch?
like Peter Pan. He's got to sew it back into his mouth.
Wait, is that
No, that's Ariel.
Little Mermaid?
Oh, wait, wrong. French fries. My bad.
French fries?
All right, Rick, your turn.
Hold on, time out. Did you say French fries?
Wrong franchise.
French
No,
fries.
that's right?
Is that like Universal Studios, like the snacks they sell at their concession stand is French fries? Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Moving on. What's your wrong guess, Rick?
My wrong guess is an unfortunate result from a Tang overdose. Turns out it's a kick in the throat, not a kick in a glass. So
Nice. Very nice.
Freddie,
What do
what's
you
your
think,
guess?
Okay. So one of them is that he drank his hot chocolate just a little too hot.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Oh, no. He lost it making a music video of Never Gonna Give You Up as a Patreon exclusive.
There you go.
Nice.
He took too many takes.
Too many takes. There you go.
Got way too into it.
Rick, do you have another one?
Yeah, I worked hard on this one. You know, he worked really hard on that Lando Calrissian's trilogy, and so he lost it while spelunking in the Star Cave of Thumboka. So, I don't know how that makes sense, but
that was a nice pull there, Rick.
Thank you.
Emily, do you have another one?
That was it for me. What do you got?
Mine is, I have a couple. One, he was intact by the Sea Rook, and whatever we see is just not him. It's a shell.
Yeah.
That's why he's not talking anymore. Or, Rick, he ate a tribble.
Is that like a Star Trek thing?
Yeah.
Why do you know that, Freddie?
It's a very memorable episode, that's for sure. You can't forget about a tribble.
Okay.
Tribble become tribbles.
Man, if you know, you know.
You can't leave them in the dark corners because they multiply.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Well, what do you think in the chat? Skooma Joe, do you have anything? Do you guys see anything there? Let us know on Twitterverse or wherever you're at. How do you think Jared lost his voice?
Man.
We'll never know until he comes back on the show and his voice comes back and he finds it. So without further ado, I think we should get this going.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Let's do it. Talk about all the things that's fun without... Oh, that was a good one.
I brought my dream journal. I'm so excited.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legends Lookback, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network, a Star Wars book podcast for people who like to listen to audiobooks while they play with their Floam or blow pens, or both at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Freddie C., and joined with me today are the blow pen specialists themselves, Emily Daybeck. How are you,
guys.
Emily Daybeck?
I'm doing well. So my husband got this like KiwiCo gift subscription box as a Christmas present. It's got these little science experiments. It's for children, but our daughter's like 3. So she's not quite old enough to do these by herself. But the recent one, it was like spin art. So it's kind of like blow pens, but it's got this like motor in a box that spins a sheet of paper, or like a little frame for a sheet of paper, and you drop paint on it. And y'all, they spent hours making spin art. It's unreal. But yeah, it reminded me of blow pens because it kind of splatters around, kind of like blow pens did.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And of course, not only do we have the amazing Emily, but we have the Floam architect himself, Rick Grace.
I barely remember these. What are they? I remember the commercial, but
I think blow pens. Okay, so blow pens, if I'm not mistaken, were basically like airbrush pens that you would just,
Okay, yes.
hover
Uh-huh.
over a piece
You
of
don't remember
paper and
those?
I never had them, and so like I think
he
I
was a wee
blocked
lad.
them from my memory because I wanted them, but wasn't allowed to have them or something like that. All
They
the
were like
commercials
this commercial that was
slapped.
really
Yeah.
invasive. It was just always on constantly. And then I don't remember how, because we normally didn't get stuff like this, but I think might have been one of my grandparents died and they needed a way to like keep us occupied in a corner of the house while they went through the house. Like morbid as that is.
Oh man.
You have to keep the kids occupied. And I think they got it for us as like a here you go, play with this in a corner kind of gift.
That's so funny.
They were fun though. It was good.
Then there was
times.
Floam, right? Floam was like
Floam.
I think it was Nickelodeon,
Mm.
Nickelodeon thing. It was like, if I remember correctly, imagine like a sticky glue over a bunch of styrofoam beads. That's what I remember Floam to be
Yeah.
like.
That's what I
sort
was
of.
thinking. Okay, I remember Floam.
I
And
feel like
blow
it's coming
pins.
back.
I remember it. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I feel
slime
like
came back
it's coming
real hard.
back. I've seen like there's like kinetic sand, and then there's like sensory Play-Doh is how it's marketed now. It's not Floam. It's like Play-Doh with added bits, and like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
marketed as like this educational thing for young children.
Added
I mean,
bits,
I'm
huh?
about it. It's definitely nostalgic.
Yeah.
Speaking of added bits,
Mm.
Legends Lookout.
Hey.
Hey.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
We've got some Legends news, of course. It's been amazing. Everyone thought that when Disney purchased, the rights to Star Wars, that we were not going to get any Legends content, and that's been wrong. We've gotten a lot of the Epic Legends collections, a lot of new audiobooks. What else is in the news coming up here, Emily?
So we've got the New Republic Omnibus Volume 1 launching in just 5 days on January 24th of 2023. We've got a bunch of issues in this omnibus. Do you want to lead us out with maybe the first 3, Rick?
Yeah, sure. So coming up first, and that is going to be Star Wars Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand. That's going to be collecting issues 0 to 6. Then there's going to be Star Wars Shadows of the Empire Evolution, the 98 series, issues 1 through 5. And then we start switching gears to some X-Wing editions or titles. There we go. Freddie, take it over.
Yeah, these are going to be great. I'm pretty excited to see these in this omnibus. So we've got 3 pretty solid series here. So we've got Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Leader, which was the 2005 print, and we get episodes. That'd be nice. We get issues 1 through 3 there. Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron 1995. We're talking the good one here.
Oh man.
And it's cool because for those of you who don't know, we're reading Back to War for our next roundtable. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 1995, so the classic Nat Kellex episodes. Here I am again. Issues 1 through 35. It's me just trying to get it out there. We need this.
1 through 35. That's a ton
Yeah.
of
It's
issues.
a big run. I just started reading those, by the way. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really
Cool.
cool. And you'll notice some of those characters show up in later on in the book 4, especially the Back to War. So
Cool.
really cool to see that. And of course, we've got X-Wing Rogue Squadron Special #1, so that's cool. I feel like we're pretty Rogue Squadroned out. We've got everything there, so that's really
Yeah, they
nice.
should have named it the Rogue Squadron Omnibus, quite
Yeah.
frankly. The New Republic, but mostly Rogue Squadron.
There you go. And Emily, what else do we have?
And lastly, we've got Star Wars Handbook 1, which came out in 1998. And then we have material from Star Wars Tales in 1999. We've got number 10, 12, 15, and 23. So very interesting combination.
Very cool. Yeah, very interesting. I feel like a lot of these omnibus, I'd like to know more about how they plan it around it. It seems like we've got a couple Mara Jade, Shadows of the Empire, and then we've got Rogue Squadron, which sort of reminds me of kind of that era, right? That almost golden era of Star Wars publishing. So
I think
it's fun. I like that.
I think I got a couple of cover art for these.
Oh,
If I'm not
and it seems like we've got 2
mistaken.
covers, right?
We do. We've got 2 from Matthew Lafray.
Here's that one.
Oh, beautiful.
nice.
I love those.
I love that.
Those leading lines, man. Come on.
Yes.
Yes.
lines.
And then we've
Very
got
nice.
Gary Erskine as well.
And it looks like a
Ooh.
classic. Can't go wrong with either of those.
And those
No.
are both great.
Cool. So that's coming up in, what is it, 4 days you said? 5 days? The
I think
24th?
5, yeah.
Nice.
For those of
Very
you
soon.
on the audio side who were not able to see those, we just had some really cool covers from that new omnibus coming up. Recommend you check that out. Beautiful covers with starships, of course. So if you're into the starships, you're gonna love it.
Yep.
Okay, well, we've got a new Patreon update. Is this a new Patreon update? I think this is a new Patreon update.
Yeah, recently.
Maybe?
Recently.
Okay.
Yes.
Emily,
It's still
you want to go
news.
ahead?
So we have 2 new patrons. We've got Amir Saran and David Wheeler. Thank y'all so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Helps us keep the lights running, helps us get the equipment that we need and the staff that we need to do what we love. And we hope you love too. So thank you.
Yeah, we're basically all hobbyists, so
That's true.
I bought my own equipment so Corey couldn't take it away from me.
Smart.
Nice.
I'm kind of regretting that decision now.
I think like
Also,
half of mine
it was like-
yeah.
But back, when I started, it was Utini was a fledgling ship
It was.
that we're definitely trying to get into a capital ship here, which really kind of goes into our chat for the main show. So since Jared is not here, we're gonna sneak in something. I think I really got to give this one to Rick. Rick, I'd like for you to lead this one off. It's very much your passion topic. Go
Any
ahead.
guesses what he's about to
Yeah,
say?
okay. So hold on. That's a very good
what
thing.
could Rick want to
Jared.
talk about?
Jared is not here, and Rick really wants to talk about something.
There's so many options here.
Hold on, I can't do with that hand.
Let me,
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead, Rick. Take it away.
So let's talk about Star Trek for a second. Okay, let us. Because here's the deal. This is connected to our Star Wars podcast very, very much. We've been doing the Legends Race to the Finish like most or half at least of last year, and we decided that whoever loses that contest we had about who could read the most Legends books in a certain set period, that the loser and or losers would have to read a Star Trek book, which to me is not a punishment, but for some people it is. Anyway.
Just Jared. It's Jared.
It's really just Jared. And so he had to make sure that he won the contest. Although, let me tell you guys something. I was talking to him earlier about something for the show tonight, but I asked him like I had asked him a question about the Lando Calrissian trilogy, like which one he liked the most or something, and he got defensive, like about like, he asked me, are you checking my count? And I'm like, dude, no, like where did that? So maybe we should look into him.
That's a little sus.
Yeah. So
how inflated are these numbers
there.
now?
So maybe he should read the book with us too. We'll see.
I think we should peer pressure him into it.
He's not here.
I feel like we could probably do it.
He's not here to speak for himself. The chat doesn't count.
I'll read it.
So, yeah. And Freddie, it sounds like you reached out to a little author who happens to write books in both universes. So talk us about that.
Yeah. So I reached out to friend of the show, John Jackson Miller.
Woohoo!
And John Jackson Miller has come on the show and talked about his books before. And I figured, hey, we need to read a Star Trek book per the agreement that we all had. And why not reach out to John Jackson Miller himself? I mean, I feel like no one can get mad at that. So I asked him, hey, JJM Far Away, which one of your Star Trek books would you suggest for Star Wars fans that have never dug into the Trek universe? And he responded with a whole entire thing, a whole, what do you call it, thread on where to start. And he actually compares some of those books with each other in case you're interested. So this is pretty interesting. Do you guys want to go down this list? And I feel like we may have picked the book, but maybe not. I think we still need to figure out what we're reading for that loss.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with whatever. Here's a graphic that just shows some of John Jackson Miller's works in both the Star Wars and Star Trek bodies of work. I almost said canon, but that could be confusing, and so yeah. Anyway, there's some books by JJM, and let's go ahead and talk about some of these options. Who wants to start?
Yeah, sure. So The first one we've got, if you like the theme Kenobi, that's what we've got here. So if you like the theme
Mm,
Kenobi,
so good.
and what is Kenobi? A major figure cut off from their role in the galaxy, right? Coming to terms with a new role, perhaps. Uh, the Star Trek equivalent would be Die Standing, which what do we got here? And it invents. Rick, if you
Inverts.
can take your there, if you can
Yeah.
take
Oh,
your
my mouse in
cursor
the way.
whatever there. No worries.
Oopsies.
It inverts it with this question: what if it was the Emperor who lost everything and had to start over again?
Oh, no, I loved Kenobi.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Die standing. Interesting
Yeah.
idea.
Now,
Almost sounds like Dune, like
let me-
losing it all to.
So here's the deal. Okay. All right. Maybe we should not have done this idea because I'm gonna have little tangents about all of
I was
these.
gonna say, this is gonna be a whole
But-
episode.
There's no emperor in Star Trek, at
Yeah.
least in the
Which makes sense. The
The
galaxy's
Alpha.
really big.
Borgs.
in the regular Alpha timeline. There's no emperor, but a trope that reoccurs, or I don't know if it's a trope, but a thing that reoccurs and like I think every or almost every Star Trek like TV show franchise has an episode in the mirror universe. So the whole multiverse idea of there's a universe where, all these different variations happen. In the Star
Yeah.
Trek world, the mirror universe is like humanity at its worst, basically. And in the regular Star Trek universe, the Federation is very idealistic, tries to do good things, but in this mirror universe, they're very xenophobic and very hostile and all that.
Imperial.
So yeah, and so there is an emperor, and for reasons, that emperor comes into the Prime universe, and that's where the inversion comes from. So
The
I won't
title's
spoil too
Die
much.
Standing. Ooh.
So yeah, that's
like it.
interesting
Intriguing.
book, but I'll stop talking and we can move on.
I was about to say, if you say that with every single thing, this could be just the whole show. We just won't
yeah,
talk about
I
ships
know.
at all.
I won't talk about
That's
ships.
okay.
Move
That's
on.
okay.
Move on.
It might save us.
I love the passion.
Yes.
We respect the passion here.
Okay. Well, who wants to take the next one? Because we've got some good stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, if you like
or-
A New Dawn,
I do like.
I'm
A New
sorry,
Dawn.
Rick.
Oh,
Go
you can
ahead.
I like A New Dawn. It's one of my favorites. So I'll talk about this
Yeah,
one.
please.
A dashing hero adrift when everything familiar and important in his life is mysteriously ripped away. Rogue elements delves even deeper with even more emphasis on funny interplay with a strongly motivated companion. Yeah, I have read this one. And it was good.
Picard.
Yeah, it's a Picard story.
Interesting.
With a new young captain and some of his story, and it was an entertaining read for sure. And I can see
Okay. I like
the
a funny read.
similarities.
Funny
Yeah.
read.
But it is filled with like a reference to a original series episode that if you haven't watched it, you're gonna miss out. That was me, and so I had to go back and watch the episode to figure out what the heck we're talking
I was
about.
gonna say, yeah, we wouldn't even. I'd want a watch list of like what to
Yeah.
watch before reading. That'd be.
Oh yeah,
Damn it.
that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily, you want to take this next one here?
Sure. Yeah. The rollicking fun adventures in the Star Wars book Rogue Elements should also appeal. No, that's the Star Trek book Rogue Elements. I was wondering why I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
Should also appeal to Knights of the Old Republic, comics fans, and fans of Rick. Would you move your cursor? That
my
series
goodness.
elaborate mysteries. He's very into this topic, y'all. Fans of that series' elaborate mysteries will find an equivalent in the Prey trilogy, which, like the KOTOR comics, is a 1,200-page long epic. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I have the energy for that.
I've
Yeah,
heard
no
that
way.
this is some of John Jackson Miller's best Star Trek writing in this trilogy. So
Oh, man.
I'm gonna
We're
read
gonna
them
have
at
to
some
read it.
point, but it doesn't have to be for the show. It doesn't have to be for the show.
Okay, okay,
1,200. My
that's
goodness,
a lot.
that is a lot. I almost said it Rick rolling instead of rollicking, so I'm glad you took that one.
Nice.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. my
All right,
goodness.
so next, if you liked the Knight Errant novel and comics, a foray into the unknown sector where the hero cut off from home must unravel a series of mysteries. But what's going on? That's exactly what happens to Pike and Spock in the Enterprise War.
Ooh.
I've actually been very interested in this one, mainly because it has a starship on the front, and it says
I
Enterprise
know.
War.
Yeah. I haven't read
A
this one yet.
starship?
Okay. Okay, well,
So-
we'll have to throw out Rogue Elements since you read that one.
I
I
have
think
read
this
that
one's a
one.
contender, though.
Yeah. And I do
Okay.
have. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Keep going.
All right.
We've got one more. Emily, you want to take the last one, or Rick?
Sure. Finally, Lost Tribe of the Sith followed visitors from space trapped on a mystery-laden planet without recourse to their technologies. This happens to Pike and Company in the February 21st release, Strange New Worlds, The High Country.
Yeah.
Rick, would you like to elaborate?
I will say that the show Strange New Worlds is great. One of my favorite new Star Trek shows, and so I'm really excited for this book because, it just continues. They had great casting for that show, and I'm excited about it. So
Very cool.
I don't know. Do y'all want to pick one, or do we want to expand to other books? Maybe get some
Well,
Twitter feedback, or what do y'all want to do?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if this is something we want to put on Twitter, we could definitely do that. We'll take out the Rogue Element since you already read that one, Rick.
I mean, we don't have to, but you know.
My vote is on Enterprise War. I mean, I want to read a book. I'm reading the Back to War. I want to read the Enterprise War right after that.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So maybe that'll be in the mix. What do you think, listeners and viewers? You want to vote?
I will say
Ooh.
these new releases, all the ones by JJM, pretty much come with pretty good audio books as well. So we should be set.
Oh, there we go.
So
I think we ought to pick the one that has the most chance of success with Jared. So he tends to like more action-packed stuff, doesn't care for ships as much.
Well,
So
JJM.
let's think. Let's pull what we know.
This not really. There's very little ship combat in Star Trek. It's very much a character building world, and
Okay.
John Jackson Miller does a lot of character work. So I haven't read Enterprise War, but it probably has a lot more to do with the characters than the ship, I would say.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah, I feel like every time I've watched Star Trek, and they've had some sort of space battle, it's very in the cockpit.
Yeah,
Not so much
it's limited.
dog. You don't really see the dog fighting like George Lucas was inspired to do. So
Okay.
well, we'll talk about it internally, but those are the books. So we've got Die Standing, Rogue Elements. We'll just name it Rogue Elements. We got 2 Rogue Elements.
No,
2 Rogue Elements.
just one.
Just one. Okay, Rogue Elements. We've got that whole series, the Prey series, right? The Prey
yeah.
trilogy. That's what it is. And then we've got Enterprise War and Strange New Worlds, The High Country.
Which is not out yet.
Which one are we? It's not out yet. Which one
Yeah.
are we making Jared read?
Jared is emphatic that he is not reading any Star Trek.
Yeah.
So
If we all
Well-
read it and make a show where he can't come to a show not prepared. That's his tragic
Yeah.
flaw. So if we
did
make
win.
the whole show about it, then either he's going to have to preach twice and lose his voice on Sunday like he actually did, or he's going to have to actually read the dang book and come talk about it. So I feel like we got to put him in these situations
Or
in the
we-
name of progress.
And if he doesn't, we will, in true Star Trek fashion, mutiny against our fearless leader and make this-
Mutiny! Oh my gosh, how
make
funny would
this-
that be if we just like sabotaged a whole episode? We'll talk about it internally.
Okay, yeah.
We've got ideas.
Hey, but thank
So-
you for allowing me a brief Star Trek tangent.
Yeah.
Do y'all
You're
want to talk
so
about
welcome,
some
Rick.
Star Wars for a little bit? I feel like we should.
Let's do
We
it.
should. But you know what? There's another topic that Jerry just really dislikes, and we just touched on it a little bit.
Well, which
And I
one? There's so
think we
many to
should-
choose from.
There are very many to choose from, but I think we should just
Dreams?
We should.
Personality analysis side?
Let's see. We'll talk about dreams. I think Emily brought her dream journal, so we'll
I
read from
did,
that.
That's right,
I
that's
did.
right.
Bonus
I'll
content
talk
for
about how
Patreon.
I had a dream about the Pink Ranger when I was 5 years old.
Oh no, he'd actually be interested in
Oh
that.
dear, that one.
Yeah, he would.
Is
Wait,
that
oh,
appropriate? I
wait.
don't know if you want to.
But we're gonna talk about a big old steaming pile of ships.
Whoa.
That's right. We're gonna
Oh,
have a
you
little
got me.
game. We're gonna have a little
Ooh.
game. We're gonna do something fun with these ships. We're gonna get it out of our system. Rick and I are not done with this, by the way.
Oh no.
We have
No.
we have like tens of episodes planned already about
Tens.
Armada. So
Oh,
what we're
word.
gonna do is we're going to, I would say it's an EU ship tier list sort of, but we're gonna do it in the form of the ranking, or not the ranking. Sorry, the what is it called, Emily? The sport,
Draft.
A
the
draft.
The sport thing. The sport thing.
The
That's the one.
sports
Let's do the
draft.
sports for Star Wars.
So we're gonna do a draft of our favorite ships. All right. Now, before we get into it a little bit, it might get heated. Rick has refused to share his
No.
pick of
Yeah,
of
no.
ships. We have a list. We've picked a list.
Mm.
Emily and I have been furiously typing ships in there, and Rick refuses to type one ship. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, you're not getting my
To be
ships.
fair, I know nothing about ships. I'm flying blind here, and I'm gonna need some help. to
You need
help
Whistler.
determine.
You need
I
Whistler.
need some help.
Oh yeah.
I need a droid.
Yeah, you need Whistler or who's Minoc? Is that
Minoc?
Wedges?
That's wedges. Yeah,
Wedges. Yeah, that's Wedges. Okay, so before we really jump into it, Rick, let's start with you. Where did you start loving the ships? How did you go about this? How did this become such an obsession for
yeah.
you?
Ooh, interesting question. Interesting question. So I'm not sure 100%. I've always loved aviation since I was young. I was in let's see, elementary school when I got to fly in a single engine plane for the first time. And so my grandfather wanted to be a pilot. He was a like me, a preacher, minister. He had a lot of strange hobbies, and so he's always been a role model. But he always loved aviation. Kind of been a family thing. So aviation's been part of it. And then my dad watched Star Trek, like in his office, and so I'd come by, say goodnight to him, whatever, and he would be watching like Voyager was on the air, or Deep Space Nine or something was on. So I would watch some Star Trek and go, oh, those ships are cool. And I don't know, whenever I was watching the Star Wars movies or any kind of sci-fi, I always just like the ships. I don't know what it is. So I guess it's that dream of getting to go somewhere and explore, or I don't know, fighting, maybe space combat. So
Totally.
I just like ships. So I don't know. I can't trace it.
Yeah, I love your hat, by the way. Awesome
Hey, thanks.
hat.
Yeah.
For me, Emily, I'm not sure if you have your start. Do you have a start of where you started liking the ships?
This episode right here.
Yeah.
Time, state, write it in your Bible.
Why don't you go first?
All right. So we might skip Emily on that question, but my my first takes in, I love starships as well, just as much. I mean, I studied aerospace engineering because I just loved aerospace a lot, and you know what not to love about the ships. They're so mysterious. They're so whimsical because they can do so much more than what we can do in our own current universe, right? I mean, imagine having an X-wing as just your daily drive to be able to hyperspace to a different planet. That's crazy.
That's pretty legit.
So X-wing Rogue Squadron on the N64, though, that was my first taste of the ships in Star Wars, how they worked, and how, you know, the limits to some of them, right? Like not having a shield, for instance, on an A-wing, how that can really hurt. And you know, the snow speeder. What do we have? I have a snow speeder around here somewhere. Snow speeder. It's basically a land speeder that was modified to do what it does. So it can't, you know, most planes can do a lot of different kind of maneuvers, but the snow speeder is pretty reduced in its maneuverability. I mean, it can't really do a flip or anything, I don't think. Anyway, those games taught me a lot about that stuff, and I just feel like, Rick, you've got books, the cross sections books, the you know, everything you need to know about a certain ship kind of books. Those are fantastic, and it keeps the fandom going. So.
I don't know. So, I'm sorry. I don't know why I showed this to the camera. I'm just playing. I think I've also said this on the show.
Rick brought all his ships.
They
He has a
live.
collection.
They're around me. Why are you making fun of me for having ships, man?
I'm not, as Freddie plays with his ship, in the other frame.
Go
Jared,
ahead,
why did
Emily.
you
Where are
abandon me?
your ships? Yeah.
Oh,
You don't
I
have
have
any
no
ships?
ships.
Aren't you feeling left out?
I ain't got ship.
Anyway.
I ain't got ship.
uh,
So good.
I'm gonna put this down. There's a tabletop game, Star Wars X-Wing, and also Star Wars Armada. And I play Armada. I've got a huge collection, a huge fleet of ships, and that gets into some of the technical, not super technical like role-playing games technical, but some of the mechanics of the game are based off of the fictional mechanics of the ships. Y'all ever have a hard time remembering that Star Wars is still fiction? And like, you ever get so into it, you start talking about it like it's real, and you're like, hold on, I know this isn't real, but that's how I am about ships. I get like the technical stuff. I get so invested in the technical stuff that I have to like back up and be like, oh yeah, this is not real. We talked about this before with like the owner's manuals, how they're made by the company that makes real owner's manuals or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Very in depth, very detailed.
yeah.
So pretty awesome.
All right. So
So Emily, someone outside of everything, right? What makes these ships so appealing to you? Because they're different, right? I mean, you see them on screen.
They're
They're all
different.
when you see a ship on screen, what do you think? Do you even notice them, or like what's your experience?
I would say I do notice them eventually. I feel like most of the time I don't see them as like an end in themselves. I see them as like a way to solve a problem or a way to like get characters from place to place. And it definitely causes probably the most strain in Star Wars are the ships. I mean, obviously, because that's where they do all of their combat. Like, they don't really have many land battles. It's almost all done in space. I think. I mean, I definitely could be wrong, but I feel like that's where we've mostly seen the most battles fought is in space. So, I don't know. I like the idea of being I like the stories where the main character escapes and like is kind of living off, and the ship is a means of freedom. That's my favorite kind of way that I've seen a ship used. But I also really enjoy how Thrawn leads his ships and how he uses them to like maneuver. My husband is in the military, and so it's really fun for me to kind of see what I know how his vehicles can fight with the ground as like everybody knows that the ground exists. And then in space, there's no ground, there's no gravity. So it's kind of fun to talk about the specs about how when you're flying a ship inside of an atmosphere, it behaves very differently. Like TIE fighters aren't nearly as effective inside an atmosphere as they are in the vacuum of space. So I think it's kind of interesting to see. I've never seen like side by side ship comparisons. I feel like if I did, it might be a little more interesting, or if you were playing a game, I feel like that would be really intriguing. But mostly I just have encountered ships in books and movies, so I just kind of like them as a vehicle of escape. It's kind of nice.
Well,
kind of like how dragons are appealing too. So they're like, oh, I could go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got a friend in Jared right there with the ship.
Right? Oh my gosh, he's thrown me to the wolves twice. This is the second time I've had to talk ships with you guys, and I know no more than I did the last time. I tried. I even tried. I researched. I did my best, y'all. It's in one ear and out the other, and I apologize. But if you're clueless about ships too, please join me. I'll ask the stupid questions, as is my role on this show, and you can just enjoy.
Absolutely. And I think Aaron Motes in the chat has a great idea for Jared's next tattoo. Oral quirk.
Yeah.
Oral quirk.
I'm thinking of
the goat.
Mark Thompson with oral, the way he says oral's name.
Oral.
Oral. Gand. Sorry.
So great.
Yeah. Bless his heart, man. There's some characters. He is a wonderful, wonderful artist.
Great job. Yep,
I can't wait to talk about it.
But not tonight, because tonight is ships.
We're just a bunch of ships. And we're not talking relationships. We're talking ships. And so here's how we're going to play. We're going to build a squadron. So I think the first thing is we need a squadron name. So what's your squadron name? Okay. And each squadron is going to be made of 3 starfighters, 1 gunboat-esque ship. We'll talk about what that gunboat is like.
So like freighter gunboat, right?
Yeah, like a freighter, like a multi-person battle tank of sorts.
Gotcha. That
You
works.
got it,
Yeah.
one capital ship.
Okay.
So, that's pretty obvious to us. For those of you who don't know, that's like your, as Jared calls them, your Mon Cal Bulbous boys, your Star Destroyers. So that's your capital ship. One land speeder or land transport. So, whatever is a land vehicle, we'll go with that. And then a wild card.
But not the
Maybe
wild
the
card.
wild card.
Maybe the wild card.
Could be the wild card.
Yep.
To be
So one
fair,
wild
when I
card.
pitched this idea, I thought we would be doing a collaborative Legends look back. If we could draft a squadron together as a team. And then they said 2 minutes before we went on air that we were all going to be doing our own drafts. So chat, for the love of everything good in this galaxy, please help me.
Listen, Emily, this is the show that just had a race to the finish, a competition for bragging
I
rights
was
and
like
glory.
way more prepared for the
So-
Sith draft than I am for this whatever is about to happen,
Oh,
y'all.
I was born for this.
Well-
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So let's start off with the squadron names. Do you wanna?
Here, let's get
Yeah.
our. We can do squadron names. Then I got a draft order ready for us.
Okay, let's do that.
So let's do names first, I guess. Or do you want to get our order established first?
Let's get the order established, and then I haven't thought about my name yet, so
Same.
Sure.
All right. So, I'm gonna
I'm going
get.
to Rogue Squadron. I took it. Is that allowed? Am I able to be Rogue Squadron? I
Sure.
feel like I can't do that.
All right, so here is our picker. Let's see who is first up on the draft. Let me show you who we got so that you're all there. Got Freddie, Emily,
Okay.
and Rick. We're all there. Who's first?
Oh God, I got it. I got my squadron name. It's gonna be the Fred Squadron. So like Fred 5, Fred 1.
Oh, that's epic. I love it. All right, so Emily, we'll come back to
I
you.
have to pick-
Fred leader.
okay.
Fred Leader
Oh,
standing
no,
by.
Fred leader. No.
All right, Emily, what's your server or not server? Your squadron name gonna be?
Oh my word. What do you have any ideas?
Let's see. Why don't we go with the Seruvi Empire, or what are we calling them? How about we just
usually
call
with
your
my
team?
fantasy teams, it's like a pun based on a name. Do I get
Okay.
to pick first?
Yep, you get to pick your. This is just the name right now.
Team Existential.
Team Existential.
I'm going for the X-Wings. Give me number one pick. Number one. 100 years, number one.
What?
I don't know.
Tumnus Squadron.
I don't know. Tumnus Squadron? Okay, whatever. Tumnus is fine. That's fine.
Man. Mbeck Squadron. That's cool. I don't have a good one. Let's see who's next. Who's it gonna be?
It's you.
And of course it's me.
Rick.
All right, let's see. I've got no choice. I was trying to cheat and use the Chat GPT bot to write a name for me, and all it came up with is
Rick.
Red
Cheater,
Squadron.
cheater, pumpkin eater. Oh my gosh.
Red
Red
Squadron.
Squadron?
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Lame.
too literal. Let's see if there's anything else.
What about the Trekkie Squadron?
Oh,
Why
that's a
not?
good idea.
See, look, I've got great ideas.
The
Let's
Spock
see.
Squad.
The Spock Squad. Yeah, no.
That's nice.
Let's see. What about
Rick Roll.
all right, I'm gonna have to pass. I can't think of anything. I'm doing too many things at the same time. So
We're gonna call you Blue Squadron.
Freddie. I'm assuming you're next. There it goes. Yeah.
Boom. Fred 5 standing by.
Fred 5 is such a good name. All right, do you want to spin again for our picking order or just go from
Ooh.
that?
There we go. Skooma Joe in the chat has one for you there.
The Flying Graces?
Flying Graces? Okay, come on.
All right, I accept. That'll work. The Flying Graces. My wife, whenever she has like a gamer tag, she's always No Grace, and that's always good, but I like that.
Yeah.
Flying Graces. Okay, so are we going to do the same order to pick and then snake back, or do you just want to just go? How do y'all want to do this?
Emily goes first.
So yeah,
Okay.
you got to fill in your draft. You need
Okay.
some.
We're gonna start off with the Starfighters. We'll make it easy.
Whoa,
Start off with
whoa.
the
Okay, are we going to do that?
Starfighters.
We're gonna pick our
How are we,
starfighters
what are we
first.
what are we
Okay.
starting?
We're gonna-
Do we get to just go in any order, or are we gonna start with a specific? Let's do category by category. I like that.
Okay.
Start off with Starfighters. Emily, first pick.
Can I be
Let's
M
go.
Tray?
Ooh,
You can be-
M Tray.
That's pretty cool. M
Yeah.
Tray.
All right, I'll be Team M Tray. Squad.
Do you want to be
M-Tray
smuggler
squadron.
M Tray, or regular programmed?
I like being a
M-Tray?
smuggler. I like being sneaky. Why not?
Okay, cool.
Smuggler M Tray. All right, starting off with the star. What is it? What are we starting off with?
Squadron.
Starfighters.
Starfighter. Yeah.
Star Fighters.
We need 3 of them, so we'll have some back
Okay,
and forth
well,
here.
I'm taking the obvious X-wing.
Ooh, good
Because
choice. Good choice.
Lord knows I need some help.
All right.
Do I
So
do
we've
I get
got-
my? I feel like I don't even need to explain that. Like
I mean, do you want to
X-Wing?
explain
everybody
it?
knows why an X-wing is the best.
So an all-around ship.
It's an all-around ship. It has light speed capability.
Hey,
right?
yeah. Well said. Well said. What else?
Thank you. This is like all right. So shields.
It does have
Very
shields.
important.
Yeah.
You
There
know
we go.
this. You're doing so good. I'm proud.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Timeless design. It's iconic. I mean, it's a classic. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong. It's like the
That's foils
Dog
to
bread and
attack
butter
position.
of
Man.
starships. Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Spoils in attack. That's a good tattoo, man.
Oh.
Spoils in attack position. Love it.
All
Okay,
right, good choice.
Thank you.
that's a great choice. All right, Rick, you want to go next?
I do. I am happy.
Okay.
I was really worried you're going to steal mine. So since you took X-Wing, there are a lot of good choices, but I'm going to go ahead and take, let's see, what am I going to take? Yeah, I'm going to go with the TIE Defender.
Ooh, that's a nice one. TIE Defender.
That is a good one.
So what
That's
makes
a really good one.
TIE Defenders unique is they are shielded and they're overpowered in every other way. Do they come with hyperspace capabilities?
I believe they might.
I think they
Uh,
might.
I
Yeah,
think
they
they
do.
might.
And then they have an appearance in canon and Legends, right? If I remember correctly. I know that in like Rebels, it's the ship that Thrawn is
Yeah.
developing. Let's see, they appear in Legends as well.
Okay.
So
Very good.
yeah, TIE Defender for me.
Okay, very
Well
nice.
done.
All
Are you-
right.
Are you making
so-
notes, Emily?
I did
Defender.
for mine. I will do it for yours too.
Okay, thank you.
TIE Defender for Rick and an X-Wing for Emily. I think for myself, this is going to be an interesting pick because it's almost slightly a gunboat, but it's not. I still consider it a starfighter, but it's the B-Wing. Yes, it's slow.
Okay. No, B-Wings are
Yes.
great, man.
They turn like a semi with 4 trailers,
Yeah.
but it is well guarded.
Mhm.
highly I mean, it's got, in my opinion, as a starfighter, could probably take down possibly like a quarter to half a squadron on its own of TIE fighters, depending on the pilot, of course.
Piloting's
Ready,
it's
can you
got
say the
just
name again?
incredible- The B-Wing. The B-Wing.
B-wing. Okay.
It rotates like a weird in a way, right?
Yeah.
It goes yeah, there you go.
I don't know if you can
it's-
see the image.
It's got these like dorsal fins sort of that come out
Okay.
and looks like a lollipop in a way.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the B-Wing right there. B-Wing's always
Interesting.
been one of my favorite ships because it's so peculiar.
Mhm.
Never seen anything like it. It reminds me of like a kind of like a super fortress, like a B-51 super fortress or something
yeah,
like that.
I see that.
You know, a bomber that has the ability to defend itself, heavy shields. Think something really good to have in your arsenal, something that's really like a tank, right? Very hard to take down. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
B-Wing.
They got good armaments.
The hipster pick.
Ion
Cool.
cannons. They have like 3 wings because of the weird design. Let's see. Akbar had a hand in the design for him. You want to talk
I like
about
the fact that Rick is having to look up the
Just-
facts on
yeah,
this ship.
This is the
Makes it
essential
an interesting
guide
choice.
to vehicles and vessels. I mean, I know a lot about it, but like the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did not know that each fighter is powered by a single immense Quadex Chiromaster engine with 4 individually adjusted thrust nozzles. I did not know that.
Thrust nozzles.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot we don't know about.
The
all
engine
these
is fed
ships.
by a single Vinop O2K ionizer reactor and 4 Slayan Corporal JZ5G7 power converters. Why is it
Clearly.
that specific? Man.
Clearly.
It's hyperdrive class 2, and it's only half as fast as X and A wing hyperdrives. Anyway, so
it gets there a bit slower.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there's your B-wing.
it's a good
your
choice.
B-wing.
Good
Naturally,
choice.
yes.
All right. So, all right. We've got Emily.
So
back
we
at-
can. Are
Oh,
we
you're
gonna?
doing a snake draft.
Are we gonna snake
So
back?
we're starting back.
Yeah.
Ready? You're the next pick.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh man. Okay. I'm going for. I don't know if I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna take an A-wing. I'm gonna take the A-wing.
A
Okay.
wing.
Okay.
I know.
Wait,
I know.
wait. You're gonna have to explain this.
Yep. So the B-wing is slow as molasses. There's probably a few pesky TIE interceptors that I'm gonna need to take care of. You know what I mean?
Sure that.
So I need that A-wing to, have that B-wing's back. And as I'm pretty sure in Back to War, what do they say? If you're not going fast, you're not a real pirate or a pilot, something like that.
Nicely done. Nicely
Well,
done.
that's a voice. that was something. Okay.
Something like that. So
No,
yeah,
that's
I'm gonna go
right.
with,
Okay, yeah, send back to where, yeah, because they go really, really fast.
yeah.
Faster
We
than
like
an
going
X-wing.
fast. That's how it sounds in the book, to me
Yeah.
at least.
I hear it.
All
All
right.
right, so that's 1 and 2.
So you got a slow and a fast. Rick, you
Yes.
got a TIE Defender.
All right, then
What
I'm
you
gonna
got next?
I'm gonna add to my armada, my squadron, or my let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go with an E-wing.
Ooh, man,
E-wing.
E-wing.
So
That's a
Okay.
good ship.
This is what an E-wing looks like. It doesn't really make an E. I guess you can
Yeah, I've
kind of
never
say
understood that.
it
Why are they all
makes
called just
an-
various letters?
an E maybe. So let me read a little bit about the E-wing. I'll kind of just skim some of this. E-wing was designed by Incom, who made the X-wing, but a new company that kind of evolved from that. Let's see, designed for the same mission profile as an A-wing, so an interceptor that was fast. However, its greatest asset is firepower. So it's super fast and agile, like an A-wing, but it's got really strong weapons. Primary weapons are Firelink, triple laser cannons, 1 cannon on the end of each wing, and a third directly above the cockpit.
Talk about firepower.
Yeah, it's a good medium assault and close support fighter. Has 16 proton torpedoes, which can severely damage capital ships and reinforced bases. Offers performance that until recently was thought to be impossible. I love how it says that. It's like, it's still fiction, but it's fine. There's some drawbacks. A regular R2 unit can't really keep up, so they developed a new line of R7 astromechs to help with navigation.
So cool.
Yeah, so
Isn't that crazy? Oh, the astromechs are so slow. You
I
need
know.
a new R5 unit, not the R2.
Yeah. it's silly, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
All right, so
I love that book. See, it just brings the world to life.
Again, this is the Star Wars Essential Guide to Vehicles and Vessels. There's so many gems in here, and it's really cool watching like Rebels and some of the newer shows that'll use some of these like concept art or designs that didn't really get a lot of screen time. Now all of a sudden are fleshed out much more fully. So it's cool to see that. Okay, Emily, back to you for your second pick.
All right. So I've got the X-Wing, which is classic. I feel like I'm running out of ships that I understand. So I'm going to go with the TIE Interceptor because I've at least seen
Very
that thing
nice.
around. I know it's
Man.
fast, right?
Oof.
It's fast.
Yeah,
very
definitely
fast.
fast.
No
Yeah.
shields, though. Or yes,
No
shields.
No
shields.
shields. No shields, but a lot of
still.
firepower. 'Cause now you've got
Okay.
4 cannons.
I like firepower. I mean, why have a good defense if all you need is a good offense, you know?
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's my choice.
I like it. You know what? Those are some very. I would not want to go against a squadron of TIE interceptors and X-wings. I feel like you're just gonna get shoot up
Covering all my bases.
instantly. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. All right,
I'll
Emily.
send the
I've got a
X-Wings
V-Wing.
first because they've got shields to do the damage. And then the interceptors come back in just to like obliterate.
Okay. I like it.
That's my
I
plan.
think since Jared is not here, we need to pick his own ships. So for Jared, we're gonna pick the Y-Wing
Oh, for
and
sure.
the Uglies. And the
Yep.
Uglies. of
Yeah,
course.
definitely the uglies.
Those are his
Um,
two choices. And he
Yeah.
cannot come back at us and change
Jared,
his
he's a
answers.
big fan of the Y-Wing.
Yeah, loves it.
all right, so
For those of you in the audio only who do not see the chat, Jared is angry. He's yelling at us. He absolutely is disgusted and repulsed by the Y-Wing.
yeah,
So-
It's
we'll
all
pick
in
it
the
for
show
him.
notes. It's embarrassing. He can't talk, but he can still insert his opinion into every
he says he really wants the Y-wing. He's gonna get that on a tattoo on his forehead. Just tell me why.
So good.
All right. So.
All right, so I do need a little bit of help. So it's a snake draft, right? So I get to pick again.
Oh no. Do you? Yeah, you do.
I
Okay.
thought so.
Yeah, that's right.
I do need some
This
help
is
with
your
my
last-
third choice.
This is your
It's
last
my last
starfighter. Okay.
starfighter.
So
I
Emily,
have an
I can help
X-wing and
you.
an interceptor.
I think we can help you out here. You
Okay.
you're going for offense, right?
I think so. Why not? I mean, they're the fighters.
Okay. Let's see. Don't you just want to send your fighters out there and just bomb everything along with it?
That sounds great. I like that.
Okay. So we've got a TIE bomber or well, are we giving Jared the Y-wing?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
We'll give him the Y-wing. Take it
Okay,
off the
we'll
board.
give him
the
it'll,
Y-wing.
it'll be retired
Alright.
in his honor.
Turns
Okay.
out, if you speak really loudly against something on this show, it gets selected.
All right, I got a
That's right.
question. I got a question.
Ruins of
Um,
Dantooine.
So, Boba Fett, Slave One, his ship, Fire Spray
Oh.
31. It's not a starfighter; it's more a freighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think it'll fit for starfighter? Or just
See,
leave,
so the
leave it
other
for
options
freighter?
are gunboat,
I feel like that's
capital
kind of a
ship, land speeder, wild card.
Gunboat, but
Okay, all right,
I
you're right.
don't-
It's got multiple capacity.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll save it. We'll save it. Trying to think of something to help you out. Come in clutch here. Ooh, how about that?
What else do we have here? I think Rick is reaching back for one of his. Oh.
How about a
I see
Jedi
hyperspace ring.
starfighter? Yeah,
Let's do it. That sounds good.
yeah.
Just hitting it up. I've got the
Yeah.
Rebel Alliance, the Interceptor, the Empire, and then now what is it called? The Jedi.
I don't know. I forget the name of it, technical name, but
Uh,
a Jedi starfighter will be good.
I like it.
Um,
Covering all the bases.
Someone look up the technical
Hello.
name and point it out. Oh yeah, there you go.
I tell you what, if y'all are
detachable-
audio listeners, you really ought to check out the video on this because it's really just nothing but Freddie and Rick playing with their toys.
Pew 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 pew.
Really?
pew, pew.
It just constantly. This is awesome.
All right, enough of that nonsense. My third and last
Rick,
pick is going
what
to
you going
be. I gotta find the right camera angle. Mandalorian Gauntlet Fighter.
What?
You're gonna have to, what?
Yeah,
That was one of your hidden picks.
Actually, not even joking. I totally didn't think about
What
it
does that even
until
look like?
2 or 3 minutes ago. I don't have a picture of it,
Mandalorian.
so yeah, you have to Google it. Comric class. They're pretty sick.
Interesting. So why this one?
Let's see. This is totally pulling off of Armada. And in the mechanics
Okay.
of that game, it's a really, really well balanced ship with good speed, good armaments, good defense, and they're coupled with Thrawn in that game. So I don't know the connection there actually. So someone's gonna have to teach me what the connection is, if there is a connection. So
Cool.
but we can keep moving. We got a lot of ships to cover.
I was about to say,
I've got
ready.
my next ship. I'm ready. And I had a hard time with this one because I really do love the N1 Naboo Starfighter. I think it is one of the best, most sleek starfighters out there.
Oh, I love Naboo ships.
Yeah, they're just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's incredibly sleek. If I'm not mistaken, has its shields, has everything you need. There's a little thing that shoots out of here, so that makes me think there's got proton torpedoes.
Sure. Pew pew. It has a pew pew hole.
It has a pew pew hole for sure.
Oh man.
But I keep flipping between. Okay, then there's the V-wing. For those of you who played Rogue Squadron, has like cluster ammunition, rapid fire. that's kind of an intense ship. Uh, I think I'm gonna go with the Arc 170 though. I'm going with the Arc
Ooh.
Arc
170.
All right, so we have
170.
moved on officially to
Gunboat.
gunboat. Okay.
So wait, Arc 170.
Arc 170. So if you remember in Clone Wars, I believe it was Clone Wars, or was it Revenge? I think it was Clone Wars, but it's basically I would say almost like the pre X-wing. It had like the three fins in it, and it had like a back gunner in the back, and just a normal starfighter. It's kind of
Okay.
like the precursor to the X-wing, in my opinion. The
Okay.
clones were always found in them, so I'm gonna pick the Arc 170. I feel like that's gonna be my main workhorse, and I think we're coming in with some heavy firepower.
Oh yeah.
B-wing.
Now, because of the snake draft, I think you get to pick again, don't you?
Ooh, I get to pick a gunboat.
You
Oh
do.
man.
Hold on.
We could switch to just a
Did-
regular
did-
one
did you
because we've done
do-
different categories.
Did you do the N1 for your starfighter
No, I picked the Arc 170.
as a fighter or a gunboat?
Gunboat.
I was picking that as my starfighter.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because that's sort of that's a starfighter size ship.
Yeah.
It does have two gunners, but
It's cool.
so
Yeah,
does
it's
the B-wing, has multi-gunners.
fine. Okay.
But it's not made for like gunboating, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go gunboating today?
Yes, I do is always the answer. Seriously,
Okay.
I've always wanted to get Roman candles and canoes. Just saying.
So this next one, I'm gonna lean on the chat a little bit here to see if this is a fair choice for a gunboat. Apologies in advance, Rick, if you chose this one. I'm going with the Sun Crusher. Does that count?
The Sun Crusher. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
For a gunboat, isn't that massive?
It's not really a capital ship, right?
It's a super weapon. It's basically a Death Star. It is not a gunboat.
Well, then what's
It
a
is not a
gunboat?
gunboat.
No, it's not a gunboat. It's a super weapon.
Oh man. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna pick the Sun Crusher.
Look.
Throwing off the gauntlets here. I'm gonna pick the KSC Fire Spray as my gunboat.
Ooh, okay.
Boba Fett.
The KFC fire. What?
The KFC.
KFC.
Going with the
What is
KFC bucket of chicken.
I'm supposed to be taking notes. I can't understand. What is? All right. K.
Kappa Sierra Echo.
Sierra.
Kilo Sierra Echo. I think that's the right term.
KSE. Oh, I see. Okay.
KSC Fire Spray.
Fire spray. All right. So why this one?
Why the KSC? It's a very, very incredibly fast ship with an immense armament that
Is
you
that
can.
Boba Fett's ship?
Yes, it is.
Get out. What in the world? Oh my gosh.
I was gonna actually leave
But-
that one for Emily, but that's fine. I just wanted to point out the Death Star prototype, that the Sun Crusher. Like, we're talking about the one from Jedi Academy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a super weapon. Come
Whatever,
on.
man. I'm calling it a. All right, fine. We're gonna consider it something else.
Yeah, you can
I'm
save
not
it for
counting now.
if you want to draft it though. You can, I guess. But then I'll take Boba Fett shipped. So
Oh no, I'm taking the KFC.
Yeah, no, you took the best one. KSC Fire Spray, aka Boba Fett.
You didn't want me to have the Sun Crusher. Fine.
yeah,
It's known as the slave
Not-
one. And then
not
what's
in
the newer
this-
canon version? What's it called?
I think they're just calling it the KSE, like by the
well,
actual model.
Fire Spray
Okay.
31 is what I thought, but
Fire spray.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, so
All
that's
right,
your
Rick.
gunboat. So my gunboat. Oh man. Let's see.
Not gumboat.
Gumboat. Yeah.
Gunboat.
Gumbo.
I have to say, if you're Googling this on the fly, it is not a very easy.
No.
No, it's just like all like combinations of letters and numbers. So keep going, Rick. You understand these things. I'm very impressed.
Oh man. All right, can I be honest? This is my least favorite like class of ship. So
I don't even know what we're talking about. So this is like the big gun, is what you're
No,
talking about, right?
no. This is like a
Fighters,
freighter.
YT. You
Um,
know.
Yeah, so
Millennium
like
Falcon.
Millennium Falcon is one.
Oh,
Stuff like that. I'll go with what's Dash Rendar's ship called?
The Outrider.
The Outrider, yeah, YT 2400. So I'll go with
2400.
So
that's a nice ship. Good choice there, Rick.
Thank you.
You know, it feels very for those of you who haven't played X-Wing or Armada, you get the option to choose like a famous pilot of that ship.
Yeah.
So that's always really fun.
Oh, Jared says Ebonhawk. That's a good choice too.
Ooh, Ebonhawk.
So Emily, we left some good ones for
good.
you. You have the Millennium Falcon. You have the Ebonhawk. What are you gonna choose?
I was gonna say, I mean, the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going for cliche / easy answers, which I am, then the Millennium Falcon is an easy choice. So yes, I'm going with the Millennium.
There's
I'm
nothing
not really
wrong
sure...
with it either. If you've never seen this ship, it's got 2 turrets, so that ship can literally stay still, and you can fly all around it, and it's gonna find you and shoot you down.
Well, and I like it too. It's sneaky, which I also like.
Yeah, nimble for a big ship.
Mm-hmm.
At least in Han Solo's hands, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and Rey. So.
Yes, that's true. It's got a long history. It's beautiful.
A lot of the bounty hunters have this class of ships. I'm trying to think of what's Bosk's ship? Is it Scourge or something like that? I'm googling.
Bosk's ship isn't that Houndstooth?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Houndstooth?
Yeah, it's Houndstooth. It's a Corellian Engineering Corporation YV666 light freighter.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
nice
YV666. That's right. Okay. So yeah,
Modified,
that's a good one too. There are some good ships. It's just, and also this is like probably the most realistic. If my family and I were gonna get a ship, it'd probably be a freighter class, you know, with some modifications. So, but for some reason I just don't love this ship or this class. Okay, let's move on.
All right, so we've got. I think it's my turn again because
we're on capital ships.
We're on capital ships.
All right.
So that's to be clear for those of us who are not as well versed. A capital ship is just a really big ship, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Large.
It's where you want to
like
hold all your other ships while you're
Yeah.
moving from place to place.
Maintenance.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Crew.
Doesn't have to be a carrier, but it probably is. It's got your command flag, like it's where your admiral, your captain.
Okay.
So yeah, it's where your main firepower is going to come from. No pressure.
Well, it's obviously going to be the Lusankia for me.
Ooh.
So I feel like
okay.
that's a clear choice.
Okay.
Wow.
Go on with the Super Star Destroyer. No big deal.
Nice.
You got to flex or you got it, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about it while we're there. A Super Star Destroyer is epic, right? One of the strongest ships made. And Armada, the game I love to talk about. Oh, look, Slave 1 and Slave 2. There it is. Okay, what was it doing? Super Star Destroyer.
Rick is so excited, y'all.
This
is Rick's episode for sure.
I love it. He's never talked this much on an episode before, I think.
No, he is not.
Oh, there's the Sun Crusher.
Oh. Yeah, Sun Crusher. Definitely could have picked it.
For some reason, they have it as separate as... No, it's still an Imperial super weapon.
I mean, there's a fine line. Is the Lusankia a super weapon?
Not entirely. I would say
it would
can be used as one, but it's not intended to be specifically a super weapon.
I would say
like the Sun Crusher.
The Sun Crusher is more of a capital ship class than
it's like the Darksaber. Not the canon Darksaber, the Legends Darksaber, which is just the gun.
Yeah. All right. This book is mysterious. How like I'll lose things in it, even though it's like alphabetical order. For some reason, they just disappear.
Rick, would you say you lose yourself in it?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, there's a TIE Defender. That was nice. Should have showed that. All right, here we go. Victory class. Nope. Man. Anyway, the Super Star Destroyer is massive. One of the drawbacks to it is it's not very agile. They have a hard time moving. But
that's true.
It's got ridiculous armaments, super overpowered. It is a city. Like, it's so big.
Check this out. Over 5,000 turbo lasers.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And now that I say it, I'm wondering if that was a bad choice because everything else I picked was so agile. You don't think it's...
No, it's,
I mean, now
you don't need anything else.
Emily, you just built right now, off of what you have in front of you, you've got a White T-1300, which is the Millennium Falcon. Let's see, what else do you have here? You've got the X-Wing, TIE Interceptor, Jedi Starfighter. First of all, we're assuming that maybe Jedi, or at least force wielding people in those starfighters, because they're incredibly nimble. And then you've got the Lusankia as your capital ship. I mean, I feel like you're about to just go wreak havoc amongst any planet you just feel like at
I
this
finally
point.
finally found it.
right.
Executor class, Super Star Destroyer. That's what the Lusankia was. Thing looks like a city coming towards
does.
you. Super long, ridiculous. Very,
So
Imagine
very
that thing
cool.
just flying out of the ground.
Yeah,
I think
8,000
about that,
meters
like,
long.
a lot. Of all the events that have ever happened in a Star Wars book, the Lusankia breaking free of Coruscant's crust is like regularly, I think, how did no one know it was there?
Yeah, seriously.
Anyways.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right, Rick. Let's
Um,
extricate yourself from this
five
ship or this
five
book. And,
times the length of Imperial class Star Destroyer. Okay, yeah. So very big. Yeah. So my turn for a capital ship.
yes.
Ha 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 ha. All right. I've been preparing for this moment. I will pick
Drum roll.
the Eclipse.
The, what's that?
The Eclipse. It
That
is.
sounds really scary.
It is very scary. It's Palpatine's capital ship in Dark Empire. It is this super massive Star Destroyer. With this, it's a dreadnought like Star Destroyer.
Oh
And
man.
it's 17.5 kilometers long. It's twice the size of the Lusankia and other super Star Destroyers. I do have some pictures here because I'm a nerd. So this is
It's not all about size.
wow. Okay, that is the
Is that the Eclipse class? Yeah, that's the you
dreadnought
did go with
class
that.
versus
All right, that's sick.
versus
I've never seen that.
the little bitty one down there. That is an Imperial class Star Destroyer, an Imp 1, Imp 2. So the Eclipse eclipses
How does that thing
everything
even move?
out. I mean, it does have a super weapon on it too, like a fourth of the power of the Death Star, and that's a little cell there for you. I might have another picture of it. I can't remember if I do or not.
Thing looks like an axe.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ship.
It's gorgeous. It's like
so-
tattoo worthy.
It might be. It is a very, very pretty ship. So yeah, the Eclipse. Let me read something about this real quick. Let's see. So long, designed to frighten enemy forces.
Frighten.
Demoralizing. It definitely happens. Let's see. 500 heavy laser cannons, 5,500 or 550 turbo lasers. 50 squadrons of TIE interceptors, 8 squadrons of bombers, super laser weapon, 2/3 that of the main weapon of the Death Star, merely powerful enough just to crack the crust of a planet rather than destroy it outright. So, but of course, the Eclipse is defeated by Luke and Leia. It gets engulfed by
Yes.
the Force storm and blows up. Sad day.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sad day. Okay, Freddie, your turn for your capital ship.
I'm tired of your bullying.
Uh-oh.
Tired of your executor classes. Your
No.
eclipses. I'm going for the Star Defender.
Ooh, I don't know this one.
The Star Defender is part of the New Republic Defense Fleet, actually. Star Defender is a Mon Calamarian ship, I believe.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's got only about 2,000 turbo lasers, but we're here to be quick and nimble and have some heavy firepower at the same time. B-Wings back up, you know what I mean? Or coming in, doing some smuggling maybe. Not smuggling. Smuggling for the rebellion, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Coming in, defending the folks. Maybe, what else? Hijacking Bacta tanks for the less fortunate. Kind of some Robin Hood-esque. I'm going to go with the Star Defender.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right. Excellent.
I didn't. Yeah, I had to looking some of this up. So before you go on with your next pick, Freddie, I've got some pictures of another Mon Cala ship. This is an MC-80, the Liberty. So yeah, every Mon Calamari ship is unique. They're not all the same, which is cool. They've got different pods in different places, stuff like that. So this is a similar ship, not quite the one you're talking about. The one you're talking about, I think, came later and is more advanced. But this is one that appears in, I know, Return of the Jedi, maybe another film as well. So cool, good stuff. I
love the Mon Cal design. It's so sleek, and I don't know how to describe it compared to the I guess harsh lines of the Imperial. It's a very good choice for design too.
Got one more honorable mention while we're here, and that is the Imperial Dreadnought that basically became like what the Katana fleet consisted of. And so there's a picture
of Katana fleet.
The Katana fleet ships, yeah.
Yeah.
So an Imperial Dreadnought, they're older ships from the what's it called? Republic. Late Republic era, but they're still powerful ships. So that's another honorable mention. Is a good old dreadnought class.
I mean, you can't have a Legends show about ships without mentioning the Katana
the
fleet.
Dreadnought,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
The infamous
Well
Katana
done.
fleet.
Have you heard of it? Yeah. Okay, so
you know.
now we're gonna go to what now?
Land speeders.
Oof. All right.
Which I don't really know enough about.
Yeah,
So
Freddie,
what you got? You said something about a snow something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the snow speeder. Your traditional snow speeder.
speeder.
It's a modified land speeder.
It goes on snow.
So, yeah, they use it. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, the lore is that the snow speeder is used for transporting cargo.
Okay.
But the rebellion modified them to be able, I think, with cannons, and I think just with cannons, and that's it. And happened to use them to take down the AT-ATs. So I think that's a pretty solid choice. It's a modified land speeder for sure. So I'd take it.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Rick, what's your choice for a land speeder?
I am trying to find one. I just had one a second ago. One I never heard of or even seen. Let's see. All right, it's gone. I can't find it. So, what is that? That's an ugly ship.
Is it an ugly?
Not an ugly.
What is it called?
It's gone. I've just passed it. Okay,
As
here
it
we
should.
go. Here we go. Here we go. I am gonna go with the TIE Crawler. Ever heard of one of them?
I've never heard of a TIE crawler before.
It's
What?
a 2-tread tank, basically, with a little TIE cockpit in the middle.
Oh! Is this from the comic?
I have no idea what it's from. It's from this book here in my hand, so I'm sure it appears in other places, but I got no clue where. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Let's see. Cheap, mass-produced ground combat vehicle became popular during the Imperial Resurgence after the death of Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Emily, that's for your hubby right there.
Yeah.
A TIE tank.
TIE Crawler.
TIE tank.
An Imperial capital of Coruscant to recapture Coruscant. Yeah. The Century tank Imperial soldiers took to the calling the TIE tank or TIE Crawler. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. It's cool.
What in the world? It's just a tank, a Star Wars tank.
It's a
in the form of a TIE
tank.
fighter.
Yeah, it looks like a TIE fighter, but instead of having the wings, it just has big old tank treads on both sides. So just imagine tank treads on this sucker instead of the wings, and that's the TIE.
It's so interesting.
TIE Crawler.
There's just a ball with treads on it.
Yep.
All right. That's such an interesting idea. All right, cool. All right, well, so it's my choice for land speeder.
Yes.
I'm gonna kind of switch gears a little bit. If I'm on the land, instead of being focusing on speed, I kind of want a more luxury feel, right?
Are you doing what I think you're
Oh.
doing?
What do you think I'm doing?
Jabba's sail barge.
I mean,
It's pretty cool.
I'm
I
gonna go
want
with
that
Jabba's
palace.
sail barge. Yeah.
Nice.
I needed a yacht of some kind. I think I
Yes.
might even go further with that with my wild card choice.
Yeah.
So let me see. So what's it called? Sail. What is it?
So
Java's sail.
sail
something?
Sail
barge.
barge.
Yeah.
Barge. My bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, and then for my wild card, I'm gonna take some suggestions here. I do want something more like I'm taking my people on vacation. We're living the life of luxury, but like we can go a little further than on the sail barge. What are we thinking? I was thinking maybe like the casino. What was it? The
The
Dreadnought
Lady Luck.
Casino.
That's what I was gonna say. I was
Lady
gonna say
Luck.
the Lady Luck.
Yes.
That is for you and your family.
That's mine.
That's the one. Nice
Lady
pick.
Luck.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna
Thank you
pick.
very much.
So there's
Wait,
Love it.
really?
yeah.
Oh, no,
There's
sorry.
your No, it's okay. It's good.
It's
This is a competitive draft, Emily. Don't feel sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Better than my Sith draft.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, it's your choice. You get your wild card pick.
All right. I am going to pick the wild card.
There we go.
Yeah. Talon cards, personal freighter, and fighter. It's kind of ugly looking, but yeah, it's appears quite a bit in Legends. Looks beat up, but is it though? Is it highly modified? Of course. So wild card for my wild card.
Nice. Which leaves us with Freddie.
Yes.
Final pick of the
Yes.
draft. What is your
The
wild card
final-
pick?
The last pick of my draft. What could it be? Out of all the ships that are left in this Star Wars universe, there's too many. There is way too many.
There are a lot of ships.
And I'm trying to think, okay, what's the purpose of this ship? Are we, I feel like it's just a wild card. I am going to pick it because I was really afraid for Rick to pick it. Just it's a very popular ship. But it's called the Shreerweir or the Siwara from the Siruvi Imperium.
Oh my word. It had to be a Truce of Bakura pick. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to spell that. Freddie.
Let's see. The first one is pretty difficult. It's Shriwirr. Shreerweir.
I gave up 3 letters.
Oh no, it's the
I already lost you.
Shreerweir.
The Shreerweir. I'm gonna try to spell it phonetically, and it's a disaster. Please don't
It is
look
a
at the notes.
disaster. It's also known
Shreerweir.
as the Sibwara on behalf of Dev later on
Okay.
in life. But just to give you guys some ideas of what this is, the Shreerweir, it's kind of a gunboat, but it not quite a gunboat. Maybe it's 24 heavy turbo lasers, 500 swarm class battle droids,
Oof.
and 30 entekment labs.
Man.
That is terrifying.
What are you planning on doing with those?
I'm gonna take over the world.
All right. Very cool. Very cool.
And for those who don't know, it kind of looks like a snail. You can see in that little visual. That's it right there.
Nice.
Looks like a snail.
Holding up
Wow.
the micro machines, the Truce of Bakura micro machines. Pretty cool stuff.
Sweet.
So that's my pick. Very popular. I know. Everyone was. I'm glad I got it. So
Oh
that's
my
our
gosh.
picks. Do you guys want to just run through them real quick, just so everyone has a high level idea of what we picked? Right off the
Yeah.
bat?
Real quick.
Sure.
Emily, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so my starfighters, I've got the X-Wing, the TIE Interceptor, and the Jedi Starfighter. My gunboat is the Millennium Falcon. My capital ship is the Lusankya. My land speeder is Jabba's sail barge, and my wild card is Lady Luck.
Nice.
Those are pretty cool picks.
Dude,
I
yes.
like them.
All right.
You're gonna destroy worlds in the lap of luxury.
That's
I mean,
right.
as one does.
Why not? Why not?
Rick,
I
what
love
you
it.
got?
All right, I have for my starfighters the TIE Defender, the E-Wing, and the Mandalorian Gauntlet Fighter. My gunboat is a YT 2400. capital ship is Star Destroyer Dreadnought, the Eclipse. My land speeder is the TIE Tank, the TIE Crawler.
That's so
and
cool.
my wild card is the wild card.
Love it.
So
Sweet deal. And then me, the Fred Squadron, Fred 5 standing by. Fred leader, here we go. Starfighters, B-Wing, as my number one pick, with the A-Wing and the Naboo Starfighter. We're gonna go with the Naboo Starfighter. I like it.
I loved that Starfighter.
So those are my starfighters. My gunboat is the KSC Fire Spray. My capital ship is the Star Defender, which is a Mon Cal ship. And my land speeder is the Snow Speeder. And my wild card is Shreerweir. And
Best way to end it.
exactly. You know, if we get an Armada thing in the future, Rick, I think what we really need to do is put these together and see what happens. If they exist.
Can you do that?
I mean, no and yes. Like, we could do some of the small ones. I think I have all of our, maybe the gunboats and the freighters, and I have a Superstar Destroyer, but I don't have an Eclipse, and I don't have a Star Defender. So yeah, we could do some hodgepodges, but in Armada, Emily, you'd win because the Superstar Destroyer is such an outclassed ship. It's overpowered. Anyway.
Well, thank you. I had first pick, so I understand. Yeah. I mean, I got first draft pick. It's hard to come back if you don't.
I should tell the Armada people that they need to put the Sun Crusher. We need a Sun Crusher, and we need a Shreerweir, and an Eclipse.
Everybody needs one of those.
And then we can really just blow up some ships. That'd be fun. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what, this was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
That's right,
guys.
It was.
It worked out. It worked out.
Ship happens.
That was fun. Ship happens.
Ship happens.
Yep.
And beam us up, Scotty.
That's
right. The name of the episode.
All right, so now let's talk about the variations of the NCC 1701. We have the Enterprise, the Enterprise A, Enterprise B.
Let us not
and
do that
that's
today.
it for tonight.
Yeah, that is. So our previous episode, for those of you who are just catching in, our previous episode was about our race to the finish. Emily, what's coming up in the future for Legends Look Back?
Well, next week, we were supposed to cover it this week, but because Jared got sick and we were determined not to proceed without him, we are giving you an extra week to get caught up reading the Bacta Wars. Yeah. And we're going to cover that on our round table next Thursday, live on YouTube as usual, 9:30 p.m. We would love your feedback and how you liked the book. So please make sure to comment on our Twitter or send us an email, comment on us live. We do read the chat, as y'all know. It's just like our fifth host is always whoever's in the chat. So please share your opinion. We love hearing it, and we love featuring it on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, so we might push it back another week, but we'll see.
Wait, really?
We'll talk about it.
Oh,
We'll talk
my word.
About it. Well, we will eventually talk about Back to
Ships
War.
round 2.
We'll get there.
Without Rick. It'll be...
Oh, man. We'll have to go over Jared's belt buckle collection on the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't do that again. I can't do it again. I'll come up with the game. We'll do it next week. We'll cover the Back to Wars the following week.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out,
coming
guys.
up.
We'll keep
It's
you updated.
coming. You have time to read it.
I love it. Well, that does it for this week, everyone. Legends Look Back. You know, we appreciate you for being here, Jared. Of course, we miss you. Hope to see you soon. Hope your voice gets back after all that preaching you did. But thanks for joining us at Legends Look Back, and thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, and we're glad that you're along here with us. A special thank you to our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Carl Sander, and our Alliance High Command, Ashley Ingalls, Elizabeth Cloutier, and Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. Want your thoughts read on the show? Our contact information can be found in the description below. We're on Twitter at Legends Look Back. If you're looking to buy some of these books and you want to help support the show, look up your book on Utini, click the Amazon link on the profile, or you can just leave us a review. Let us know what you think. Remember to keep to the Utini fan code, and may the force for positivity be in your favor and your fandom. May the force be with you.